Alright, you guys ready to see some cool shit? I got some cool shit to show you. I was doing stuff in between takes. So yeah, we got an Abra. That's pretty neat, isn't it? And guess what we're gonna do with him? I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but let's look at it just a little more. Just so you get the idea. There's an exclusive Pokemon that you can get if you trade an Abra for it. And that thing was a bitch to catch, let me tell you. Well, I mean, you probably already knew that. Who hasn't played Pokemon these days? Everyone knows the ins and outs of red and blue. Don't need me to tell you. I think that's a higher level Diglett than normal for Diglett's Cave. I think they usually average a bit lower than that. Remember that episode of the Pokemon anime where they had the little Diglett song? It's like, Diglett dig, Diglett dig. Yeah, I remember that. That was many years ago. When's the last time I actually saw the Pokemon anime? I remember it was on Cartoon Network at a decent time slot during the third or maybe the fourth generation. I think that was the last time I really, followed it. They actually had some semi-interesting plot lines, or at least I thought so as a stupid 9-year-old kid. Which was the one where they changed the theme song where it went, "It's a battle, win or lose, it's the road you take, it's something you choose." Was that 3rd gen? I feel like that was 3rd gen. But yeah, Cartoon Network really tried to push Pokemon for a while, and they had it on at a decent time slot. It was like Saturday mornings at maybe 9 or 10 or 11 a.m. and nowadays it's on some crappy time slot where nobody can see it. It's like 7 in the morning or something stupid like that. Ooh, look at that. Mr. Enter is evolving. It looks like a toilet. It's like that picture where Sonic gets turned into a toilet. You ever see that on DeviantArt? The internet is a horrible place. So anywho, what was I saying? Yeah, they don't put the Pokemon anime on decent time slots anymore. I guess they just, that they're trying to bury it for whatever reason, cause networks do it. Mr. Enter, no, you had so much potential. And we can't escape either. Well, that's a drag. If that don't suit you, that's a drag. Anyway, just finishing up my thoughts on the Pokemon anime. I just miss the times when I would have a show that I would look forward to and I could talk to my friends about it. I remember there being some joke in one of the episodes, and I thought it was so funny I called my neighbor who lived down the street to tell him about it, and now I have no neighbors to speak of, and I haven't seen any good shows in over a decade. Everything's just slowly fading away, and soon I won't have nothing left in life. They got us right before the ladder. You know it's also possible to catch a Dugtrio in here, not just Diglett. I looked it up, the capture rate is 95% for Diglett and 5% for Dugtrio. I could do the Chugga thing where I have a little chart showing the percentages of encounter off to the side, perhaps in the letterboxes of this video. Maybe I'll add it in. In fact, well, now that I'm at a Diglett's Cave, it don't make much of a difference, do it? So I guess we're not gonna add it in. I mean, I already told you what the percentages were. So anyway, yeah, we had to go back to the first town to do this cool tradey thing. I just wanted to check for hidden items first. I just want a goddamn picture of a hot dog. Oh, Jesus, fuck, my meds are kicking in. Oh, God, this don't feel good. I feel all sleepy and feel like I don't want to finish this sentence because that's going to encourage it. Okay, so here we go, doing a cool-ass trade. Bye, guy who was there for one episode. Have a nice life. So, there he goes. Very, very primitive in terms of animations, but, you know, the training animation looks a bit primitive by today's standards, but then again, so does everything in this game. The 23-year-old game, what the hell am I talking about? And here comes our guy. He's a-coming down the pipeline. I'm glad they give you computers to trade with, cause finding real-life people who'd be willing to trade in Pokemon Blue in the year 2020 would be challenging, to say the least. Especially since you'd need the link cable, and also this is on an emulator, so... Is there some kind of drop-down emulator menu feature where you can simulate the link cable? And that's something to look into. Probably not with this emulator, though. That would be too complicated. So, yeah, so when you trade your Pokemon, the one you get in return is the same level as the one that you traded, so Mimeo is gonna be a bit far behind for a bit, but we've got a good psychic type now, so he'll catch up real quick. So, you can't change the name, so that's kinda dumb, but I guess it gives the game a certain personality. The previous owner named him Marcel, like the famous mime, Marceau, the mime of French origin. That's about all I know about him. I assume he's French. I mean, where else are there mimes? They don't have African mimes, do they? I guess I'm uneducated on matters of the world. Maybe I'll go back to school someday. Alright, let's give Mimey McGee some exercise so he can get caught up to his contemporaries. It's not like oh yeah, we could have gotten through this without fighting anybody, but the goal here is to try and get experience. And also, this is a speed run now. You've seen people speed run entire games before? Well, we're gonna do something different. We're just gonna speed run this one a wild battle. Here we go. Everybody type Diglett speed run in the chat. Hashtag Diglett speed run. It's like that donkey video with everybody type Minecraft oopsie in the chat. Alright, we beat him. Stop the timer. Yeah, there you go. Congratulations, everybody. The speed run wasn't easy, but we got there. I don't know how I would have done it without all of you. Well, now what do we talk about? That kind of took up all of my energy. Did you guys ever see Pepper Ann when it was a show in the late 90s? Pepper Ann, she's too cool, something, I don't remember the lyrics that well. Pepper Ann's not on Disney Plus for some reason. I guess Disney just fucking lied to us about how we're gonna have everything from the history of Disney. They didn't even have Family Guy. They've got the rights to all the Fox stuff, but they didn't put Family Guy on there. It's a gosh darn travesty is what it is. And then the stuff that they own directly, like Pepper Ann, they didn't have that either. And they're probably missing all of the stuff that's considered racist by today's standards too. I don't think they've got Song of the South on there. They're pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Sensitive about that one. Old Uncle Ruckus and zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. What would you do if in the new Pokemon anime, if Spearow started singing that in a deep voice? Do you think people'd get offended? The answer to that question is always the same. Probably. Boy, this Meowth is really kicking Toby Keith's ass, huh? I think we'll pull through. Something I wanted to say about that, but I'm not gonna encourage you strange people to go out and do things. It's dangerous. It's like that one car game where you select the difficulty, and if it goes to the hard difficulty, the guy yells, "It's dangerous!" and then you hear screaming and running away, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. But what else is new? That guy on the right, isn't that the guy who gives you the old rod? That kind of sounds disgusting. But no, I think he's in a separate building, actually. So we could catch a Magikarp, and then we could evolve it into a Gyarados someday. Here's a random thought. Does anyone know if Skyline Chili is still in business? They used to have a Skyline Chili in my area, and it was good stuff, but my local one's definitely not around. But I'm just wondering if they're like a chain, and they've got another location out in Flagstaff, Arizona, something, and just name a random location. Welcome to Twinkle Park. What if he said that instead? And here we go, Boatland, Boatganistan. I don't think the guy from the Pokemon Center was supposed to be a fisherman, actually, because now that I see that guy on the boat has the same sprite, I think the fishers have different sprites. Remember when that Much Funnier channel got to this point in the game, and they had that whole bit about getting your prostate examined, and how the doctor would bungee jump from 50 feet in the air and then just gently kind of put his hand in there, and gosh, that was so much funnier than anything that's ever been said on this channel. Gotta swap the mic between my hands occasionally. It gets a bit tiresome to hold this up. Anyway, yeah, Mr. Mime would have been good in this situation, but he's not leveled enough. Can't do much yet, but he will get there. I can assure you that. So I was watching a video by Andre 3000 earlier today, and what's he doing nowadays? Seems like most of my favorite musicians, they're still around technically, but they're all kind of past the point of the peak of their popularity. So even though they're making new stuff, nobody really cares. Like take Green Day for example. It was such a big deal in 2009 when they released 21st Century Breakdown, and I was under the impression they hadn't made any new albums since then, but apparently they have, and it's just that nobody really cared. That's a shame. The traditional music listening methods are dead.